What is going on? Welcome back to another one of our release communication. We're going to be diving into releases for October. Now, we've got so many cool things that I want to go over. So we got about 5 things we're going to be diving into. Number 1 being our new feature, our voice live transfer feature. This feature allows Charlie to be able to do is it enables you to automate a voice transfer inside of your lead generation process. So as you're generating leads and Charlie's calling leads or leads are calling in, Charlie's able to now do a live transfer. And the benefits of this is just really ensures seamless communication, increases operational efficiencies, and route calls automatically to the right people on your team to avoid losing a lead. So this is really, really important because this is available for both inbound and outbound calls. Now let's dive into where this sits. When you log into your Charlie account, you're going to click on AI Setter. You're going to go and open up a voice agent, right? And then when you click under your voice agent, you're going to click on actions. And then under actions, you're going to add condition. Under the condition, you're now going to be able to select, put in your condition, and then enter the condition details. After that, you select the action. And then once you select the action, you'll see a drop-down menu that appears that transfers the call. And in there, you can select the call, put in the phone number that you want Charlie to transfer the leads to. And then you can add a custom transfer message. This will be essentially Charlie can say, hey, hang on, let me connect you with somebody from our sales department. Let me connect you with somebody from our intake department. Let me connect you from somebody from our support team, whatever it is. You can put that custom message there, and then Charlie will say that message, and then you just got to make sure you save it. So that's a voice transfer. So this opens up a host of functionality that you can deploy with this. So it can be dynamic, it can be linear. You can have as many numbers as you want the agent to transfer to, and you can set custom conditions based on each action, and then the AI will conversationally and automatically handle those situations. So the next thing that we have is really more of like an improvement. So this is where Charlie is able to really process multiple messages within one context. So let's say you have a lead that just sends multiple messages back to back. Charlie's now able to essentially process the lead's entire message, even if it sends them back to back or as part of a chat bubble. And this just improves this contextual understanding. And the benefits of this is this ensures all information is considered rather than just the last message. So creating the impression that the recipient fully comprehends the sender's message. It improves communication with just naturalness and just fluency, giving the feeling of a human interaction. Now, Charlie can refine the qualification process and achieve a higher success rate in lead qualification with this new enhancement. So let's say a lead answers multiple qualification objectives with back-to-back messages. Charlie can process them all, check off the objectives that have been met, and then conversationally move to the appropriate step inside of your messaging and inside of that sales process. So the next improvement that we've made is to our Talk Later feature. Talk Later has really been a game changer, right? So Talk Later allows the AI to conversationally handle when somebody says, I'm at work right now, can you hit me up a couple hours later? Or I'm on vacation right now, I don't get back till next week. Or, hey, I'm at dinner right now, like hit me up in the morning. Like it can conversationally schedule its own follow-up based on what the lead is saying. So we've adjusted and enhanced the logic behind Talk Later. And so the benefits of this enhancement is now instead of triggering Talk Later straight away, Charlie is going to validate that the lead doesn't need to get DQ'd, and it's going to validate that it doesn't need to trigger any actions or conditions. And then it's going to validate that the qualification objectives don't need to be met, and then it'll initiate Talk Later. Whereas before it was just initiating Talk Later a little too soon when it should have triggered one of those other systems. So we have our DQ system, we have our actions and conditions, we have our chat qualification objectives. So Charlie's going to go through those mechanisms first and make sure that the leads reply doesn't check off any one of those things before it moves to trigger Talk Later. And the fourth thing is Charlie's response to reaction. So this is an improvement. So this new configuration, Charlie AI has been updated to recognize likes or loves or just positive reactions from the lead when somebody reacts to a message. So once a lead has scheduled a call, Charlie will no longer respond to subsequent reactions. So it's not going to necessarily, like, if somebody sends a reaction after Charlie confirms that their call's been put, it's not going to reply. But if Charlie sends them a message or in qualification and they react to the message in a way where it indicates that they're positively replying to that message, then Charlie will essentially move on to the next step. The goal of this is just, this adjustment contributes to just the naturalness of Charlie within a conversation, and it avoids replies and will prevent like open-ended conversations and mimic just kind of like how we as humans reply or respond to a reaction that somebody has. The last thing I want to dive into is our multilingual configuration. Now it fully works within auto booking. So the cool thing is you can have your AI setter, specifically your DM setter, can be configured in different language to facilitate effective communication across a diverse set of audience. And it supports auto booking function now. So the benefits of this is it improves customer interactions by addressing product and service inquiries in the client's preferred language. And then when it gets to a point where they're ready to book a call, Charlie is going to proactively offer them slots using the native language that they've already determined they prefer to be communicated in. So now the auto booking process is automatically set up to be congruent, and it's going to detect if the person is speaking a different language. It's going to match that language and keep that congruent throughout the entire process. So this is really, really important. Setter will only respond in the language it has been trained in. So it can't change like the languages just within conversation. So you'll need to configure it to, if you want it to be in Spanish, you'll need to configure it in Spanish. If you want it to be in English, you'll need to configure it in English. So I'm just going to walk you through what this looks like. So if we're going to be going through kind of like the multilingual configuration, you're going to select your AI setter, and then you're going to go into the objectives, and then you're essentially going to select the objectives. You can select the calendar that you want the calls to be in. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure all the info provided inside of Charlie is in the language that you want. And then you test it in the playground. And then what you'll do is in the playground, you can essentially respond to the AI as in whatever language that you have configured it in. And then it will detect that and continue and hold the entire conversation in that language. So you can see here, this is a separate example in Spanish. So you put the qualification objectives in Spanish, you put the example in Spanish, you put the instructions in Spanish, and then this will essentially let the AI know that everything that you want it to do is going to be in Spanish. All right. And then once that's done, you can see it's replied, the lead replied in Spanish, Charlie replied in Spanish, all the way through from top to bottom. We'll do that in Spanish. So that is it for our releases for October. We're building a bunch, and I'm so excited for what we've got coming down the pipe. You are going to be so blown away by it. We're barely scratching the surface of what we're building here with Charlie. Super excited for you to be a part of this journey. If you haven't already scheduled a demo and using Charlie, what the heck are you doing? Plug Charlie in. Is going to produce incredible results. And until next time, stay calm, change lives, and have business in your chokes. Peace.